Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Zandar. Yes, I know a lot of people have already got them in hand. Amazon is hitting them like crazy, but I just got them, so I'm going to review them. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm also going to compare them to the O-ring version. And then you know what else I might do? Well, not might do. What I am going to do is I got one from AliExpress. Now, oddly enough, AliExpress, who's supposed to be super quick, I know they come from China or whatever, just in a bag. Amazon actually got it to me quicker. So let's just say the wait has been quite some time. But as you can see, I cut off the vest so we can see the tattoos underneath it. And then I threw, I believe this is a gridiron, a gun on it. It's not a gridiron gun. It's a gridiron holster, I think, to look similar to the original. But basically, I wanted to see the tattoos. So we're going to take a look at that so you can actually see what the tattoos look like. I just decided to cut it off because there's no reason. I can always glue it back together. But I have one right here. So anyway, here we go. Here's the figure that we are looking at. Again, Zandar. He was always one of my favorite of the siblings. I always liked him the most. We got some nice artwork right here on the side. We got the QR code that takes you straight to hell. You got his attributes right there, and then on the back, we have him what looks to be in front of their gas station, whatever their hideout is. Maybe that's a HasLab. We could get is a nice little Dreadnought hideout. But there you go. You kind of see his tattoo that he gave him. But anyway, let's get into opening this figure. I am excited. Again, the AliExpress one I just opened. I haven't tried to move him or nothing, so I don't know how he is. This is the one we're going to take a look at. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like what I'm giving you, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe Classified video. Okay, got the figure open, and as we always like to do, we look at the accessories first. So he comes with this knife here. It does have some nice paint on it. So you do have the silver blade. Again, Saw Viper was just all black, and again, it takes away. It just doesn't do it any justice. On the grip here, on the handle, I guess you could call it, it's got a little bit of detail. And look at that. They're obviously using much stiffer plastic. I'm not having issues. Again, it bends, but this is perfectly fine. This is completely acceptable. Then he has this thing. I don't really know what it is, but again, he's a Dreadnought, so who cares what it is. It looks like it was like some sort of hatchet, maybe cut off, but anyway, you got some nice detail here. Again, a silver blade, which goes very far. It's not too thick, so this is fine. Again, I don't have a problem how that looks right there. And even right there to where you see a little screw that would hold it together. They do a nice job with the detail there. We have this pistol. Again, what I believe is another newly molded pistol. I don't believe I don't believe that has blast effects. No, look at that. There is no blast effect there, so way too small to have one. Maybe that's the way that the barrel is supposed to look. The grip has just a little bit of detail. Over on this side, same thing. And it looks like that's a safety right up there. So again, nice little detail. Again, stiff, straight, exactly the way we want things to be. I know, that's what she said. The backpack, here we go. Take a look at this here. And you know what, let's look at his spear gun. We'll grab our original Zandar so we can compare them both. All right, so here is his spear gun with a scope on it. Very interesting looking weapon, but something you expect from a Dreadnought here. So it's got a nice painted tip, and then it's got the big scope. Now, I don't know how well you can aim a spear like this, but hey, more power to you. Nice little grip there. And then it looks like he has some sort of padding on the stock. So hopefully we can pose this pretty well. I don't think this is going to be too much of an issue. But it is a nice looking gun. All right, pretty straight there. It just has some flexibility, but again, I don't think that's bad. This is not like the soft weapons we were getting before. So just quickly take a look at the original one. He also has a scope on it, the big spear, harpoon, whatever you want to call it. It's even on the bottom. I never really noticed the bottom piece there. Probably can put some sort of wire in it. Not for real. I always laughed at this big old handle here. But it's got the grip, and again, it doesn't look the exact same, but you can tell that it's very similar. Alright? As a matter of fact, they're not that much, there's not that much size difference. So you could probably use that one if you really want to on your classified. And here is the backpack. So it looks like he's probably carrying some sort of computer around there. I know I use that for my work backpack. This here, I believe, are supposed to be some sort of arrows, bolts, whatever you want to call them. They do not come out, but they don't look, they look like they're just kind of bunched in together. But I'm assuming that there's some sort of bolt because this one also has it. So looking at this here, you do have a nice little pouch there in the middle. They did a much bigger pouch. The same design on it. All right. And then they tried to just make it so it looks like this one has more arrows, or maybe they're just sticks. I mean, I really don't know what the hell that is. But you got the nice handle on it, and I do like that this is black. It does add a lot to it. But again, the detail on all of this, as we can kind of point out here, it really does give it, it gives it depth. So, you know, when you are taking pictures, you don't take photography, taking pictures, it pops pretty nicely. All right, now on to our figure. And again, we know people are going to be mad because it is not the exact same. Clearly the vest is different. So we will look at this figure here, and that detail right there, his eyes are looking straight. He's got all these tattoos, nice parted over hair, and the headband that runs over. Here he's got this weird skull with some sort of horns on it, with these pauldrons that I only know because I took that one out of the bag. It wasn't in a box, it was in a bag, and cut the vest off. These pauldrons seem to be glued on, so it is weird. Now he's just kind of sitting there without anything. This makes it look like they're actually connected. On this side, he has some sort of jewelry that runs around it, along with another skull with horns. Really interesting, but I wonder if that one is... yeah, they look like they're the exact same design. And then he has the little crosses, not the crosses, the detail right underneath here. He has the scarf that is ripped off of Zarana's jacket, okay? Very creepy. Like, the brother and sister, I don't know, you kind of get an idea, like, they're kind of creepy. Now, we've kind of gone round and round. Tony's Fig said that he did find out that they are not fraternal twins. They're twins, but not fraternal. I just knew they were brother and sister. I never knew or heard that they were supposed to be twins, so I'm not sure what the actual canon is. But now, looking at his plate carrier, it has some nice designs on it. We're gonna have a piece for the pistol, the holster right there. And this is a nice plate carrier. I'll probably use it elsewhere on another figure, just because I think it's gonna work with a military, which I have a feeling we're gonna see this on some other military figures if we haven't already. I'll be 100% honest. I don't know every single accessory and every single part that comes on different figures these days because there's just too many of them. But nice detail right here that's going to hold this on. This piece here looks like it's going to pop off. Now that is going to be a pain to keep it on, but hey, they do what they can. And on the headband here, this is just kind of already plugged in. I feel like it's glued so it's not going to move. And I'll kind of give you another reason on that. because that one doesn't have it on it. That's the AliExpress. On the back, you got a sheath for the knife. You got his a chain wallet. That's interesting because we were just talking about chain wallets not too long ago. I'm assuming, well, maybe it's not a chain wallet. We're going to act like it's a chain wallet because that would be sitting in the back. And as you can tell, you got to love that the fact that this is actually tied to his belt loop or chained to his belt loop. You get these boots here, and then he has the, this guy looks like he's going into Roadhouse, but let's be honest. Dalton is going to notice that right away. What does he say? Knife, left boot, I think it was. So anyway, a little bit of design. Look at the little clasps, and the gold paint just really sets these little things off. Again, you're going to do photography. It's really going to pop. There's no doubt about that. All right. And then with the knee pads, you can see that this is supposed to be like an elastic strap that's holding the knee pads on. Well, people were talking about like a double knee pad. I wouldn't call that a knee pad. That's just a high boot. So I'm not really sure. I swear people were talking about that. I haven't watched any reviews, to be 100% honest, because I kind of want to go in as blind as possible. On his glove here, it looks like he's got a little bit of protection. Probably used for fighting a little bit. And then he has the Dreadnought tattoo there. And I like this one because looking at it, it looks like it is faded, like he's had it for quite some time. Now, obviously, a lot of talk was the tattoos around his face, but also around his chest, all right? So I'll grab this one over here, and you can see he has these, the 3 bolts that are going right down his chest. Now, what I was showing you on the back here, all right, now I have this here, all right, and as you can see, this doesn't pop in, all right? It's not like some of the Marvel Legends and stuff that is supposed to just kind of pop in and then it stays there. This thing will continue to fall out. So you're going to have to take it, just take a little bit of super glue if you order from AliExpress, all right? And being the AliExpress one, there is the number. So I don't believe this is a knockoff figure. I know there's a lot of talk about whether it's a knockoff. I can tell you quickly, though, when it comes to the leather necks that I got. So this is the one that came from Amazon, all right? And you can see that it is painted on there. This one doesn't have it, all right? It's on there, but it is not painted. So somewhere along the line, they made some sort of change. And again, how AliExpress gets these, I'm assuming these people are just taking them out the back door and then selling them on this, you know, AliExpress or whatever they do. Either way, I know there are some knockoffs. I don't believe that either one of these are. Now to compare them to the original Zandar. All right. So, quickly, as I talk about this all the time, when you look at stuff, it never really dawned on me that this guy has pull trins, but nothing for them to connect to. Just looks really odd now as an adult looking at it. So, quickly, his hair is parted the exact same way. They gave him longer hair, and they made sure they gave him the Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do headband. We have the pauldrons, which obviously have the same type of slits that run across there. And then you have the same, very similar gloves. All right, look at that. So there we go. On the gloves right there, you can see there's actually some sort of like metal padding that goes right onto there. All right, going down, well, he has a knife there. This thing here is now made for this piece. So that just kind of pops in there. But again, if you're looking at it, it is a knife of some sort. The boots, they have the gold at the top there. So he does have the knife right there. There's no chain, but that's fine. I like adding stuff. He has the big buckle. I love the fact that they made this a like a monkey or some sort of skull. Who knows what it is? where there's, I don't think anything on that one. But then you do have where they put the pistol up on his chest. And here, he doesn't have a whole plate carrier. It does make way more sense to have a plate carrier. Would you guys not agree? So anyway, you have the pistol right here. But if you want to take him off, all right, he does have the scarf. I guess we should have mentioned that he has the scarf. But he does have the lightning bolts kind of tattooed the same. It looks like there's just 3 of them right across. So very similar. Again, you really see the cues that they do. But there's no design up on top here of the pole trims. But that's perfectly fine. I mean, let's add some stuff. This is what we're asking for. So as for the gun here, I saw someone having a hard time getting the gun in. I'm not really sure how they were having a problem, but they did post it on one of the G.I. Joe Facebook groups. I don't see there being an issue, and as a matter of fact, this thing closed really easy, much easier than I thought it was going to. All right, and then we have the knife that's going to sheath right onto the back. So as for the articulation, his head can look up not far, and it can look down that far. These pole trims, I think, are really going to obstruct any type of T-pose. We're going to mess around with this for sure, at least on the other ones, because they are kind of moving. But I can't even get any type of T-pose. So it suffers from the same thing that she does. You know, they give these pole trims, they can't really do anything. Bicep swivel right there, double pinless elbows, and this figure is pretty smooth, to be 100% honest. You have your wrist swivel, the ab crunch, which works pretty well because of this. Well, maybe kind of works. There we go. And then obviously he can kind of rock her around and twist back and forth. His Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is almost perfect, along with some drop down hips. Then you have your thigh swivel. And there's those ratcheting knees. You have your nice boot cut. And then your ankle rocker. So this figure really have no issues with the lower portion. He's really smooth, didn't have to heat him up. But these pole trims are going to be an absolute nightmare. So let's quickly take a look at this one here, because it looks like they are cut in right there. So the shoulders are actually cut to have these, and they're probably glued on. So you're not getting any type of, I mean, you can kind of push it up, but this is because he doesn't have the plate carrier on, I think. I mean, yeah, you're not getting a good T-pose. Now, a lot of people say, what's the use of that? Well, you're doing photography, you're doing different stuff like that. You want to be able to articulate it. So, but we're going to move on to the one that everyone's going to have, is this one here. And I guess it's kind of like Burger King's crown right there. All right. So the backpack here, I guess I should show you. So the head does come off super easy. Has that really small peg here. And then this is the same color palette as I was showing you. At least it's supposed to be. Actually, it's a different color. Come on. It's supposed to be like torn off of her, but it's definitely a different, slightly different. Again, not that big of a deal, before someone in the comments. And again, his tattoos on his neck. Now the tattoos do look nice, kind of popping through the plate carrier. But, I mean, I don't really mind him without that, to be honest. Maybe with this one it's a little bit better. Got a more classic looking one. But, just to find the backpack, so you gotta line this up here, and then you kind of slam that down. So that pops in nicely. Alright. I said this thing went on nice, and I guess I'm making a liar out of me. Then we're going to take his spear gun, or whatever it is. I don't know, it's harpoon, spear gun. Just a weird looking weapon, let's be honest. And that is I gotta say, that's difficult. That's something you're probably going to struggle with there. I do not like seeing any type of, I don't like seeing when figures are posed and they do not have their trigger finger where it's supposed to be. It just looks odd. It doesn't look right. Now I'm looking at these boots here, and these ones might be a little different because you do have the heel here, but when the toes dip up like that, they have a tendency to want to lean forward, and not always my favorite figures, to be honest. Although Crimson Guard, as much as I've mentioned it before, like, he has that, he's really easy to get in like a running position where he's on one leg and then the other one is in a his toe is just on the ground, just like that. Again, I don't know why. I don't know if it's the angle, but it makes him really easy to pose. This is not the best pose. These pauldrons are going to make this figure really difficult. Really difficult to get in good poses. This isn't the greatest gun, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, it looks similar, but I just think that there's something amiss on it. I guess that's the best way to put it. But it is close enough to the original. But I just feel like it's not designed the greatest. And it just seems soft, but see, it keeps popping out right there. Gotta move his elbow. I'm gonna turn this part of the elbow, like a chiropractor when I'm doing this. You want to turn the elbow right there, then you can use the a longer stock. Like I said, I'd like to show you guys, if anyone's new to the channel, like, why are you spending all this time? Well, you see a lot of people get their figures in wonderful positions, but how long did it take? They struggle with it. I like to show people exactly how easy or hard it is. I'll tell you what, these thumbs here. Hands are soft, which I do like, but you want the hand to be like that. So now we have all the Dreadnoks. Well, we have the three siblings, and no, I did not bring Zartan up or any of my Zartans, but I did want to put him with Zarana because they did come out at the same time originally. So there you go. Let's wrap this up. I think I spent enough time on it. Alright, so there you go. That is the G.I. Joe Classified Zandar review. As I mentioned, I always liked this figure. I feel like a lot of people didn't. People like Zarana, they love Zartan. I feel like the cartoon didn't do him justice. He seemed like an afterthought, like he was the Marsha Brady, you know, or the Jan Brady, I'm sorry, the Jan Brady, you know, Marsha, you know, maybe he was always like, Zartan. But I think he's designed wonderful. Like his face sculpt, I think he sculpted good. The weapons, a little left to be desired. The Poltrons, I do understand, they want him to stay in place, but man, do they obstruct a lot of posing. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Everything else on him, I think, actually is pretty top-notch. So, unfortunately, I'll probably be looking for different weapons when we're doing posing. But hey, I guess you got to do what you want to do. It'd be nice, but again, Classified has so many different weapons. I don't really need to worry about even buying other weapons from other companies, but I do anyway. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for sticking around for this long. If you haven't yet, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe Classified video. Now what I'm going to do, you stayed this long, right up here is going to be the the leather neck video, and down here is going to be the playlist for all the Classified figures I reviewed. Take care.